So I'm actually gonna promote a very controversial thing in a way, because I'm gonna tell you, don't be authentic, be fake actually.
If the catch is too small, I'ma throw it back. I've done a lot, but I ain't got a lot to show for that.
So hi and welcome you guys. Sorry for the bit of awful upload schedule. I'm gonna start making these I'm gonna call these lazy couch videos where I'm just gonna ramble about random topics, like who knows. Stuff that's easy to edit, just cut around and just dump them on YouTube. Not the best tactic, probably in 10 years someone's gonna dig up my history and frame me for something. I don't know. But yeah, today I just wanted to talk about, by the way, a few notes over here, so I'm gonna be looking at them the whole video. But yeah, today I want to talk about the topic of so intention and doing stuff you feel like and being authentic and following your heart. You know, the type of stuff people always say all the time. By the way, I just finished shooting a sales video for your seeing the green screen over there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, so I hear a lot of people talking about just be yourself and it's good to be authentic. And you see a lot of this, especially in the business space. It's the new thing, right? It's the new thing. You gotta be authentic, right? You gotta be yourself, right? Here's my 2 cents on the subject. You hear this a lot and it makes me think, who said you are good? And who says being yourself is good, right? So, as you guys know, I'm a Christian. I don't hide it. I don't care. So obviously I already know people aren't inherently good, right? By the way, just let me set up the lights a bit better here. Okay, there, I think my shadow side's a bit better filled out. Okay, there, I think my shadow side's a bit better filled out now. But yeah, like I was saying, so again, who said you're good and who said being yourself is actually a good thing? Because our human nature and our regular nature, right, is to do bad things. And this thing about being authentic doesn't work at all. And the way I see the truth, right, it's only in extremes. So if you tell me something like, hey David, this thing is the truth, I'm gonna take it to the extreme and I'm gonna test it, right? So if you take this thing to the extreme and we're gonna apply this method on a psychopath or some sort of person like that, if they follow their heart, they're screwed. So you're telling them, the people who aren't born good, the people who aren't naturally, don't have that fuzzy, warmy feeling, they actually want to hurt people, they actually want to do bad stuff. So you're telling those people that they don't have a choice except being bad. Because, oh, follow your heart, be yourself, just do whatever you want to do. People actually don't promote that much, at least the people I see, in the entrepreneurial space and common sense space, I guess. But I do see a lot of the be yourself thing and follow your heart and all that type of stuff, right? And again, that isn't good, because that type of person who isn't good inherently, they can't be good, which way soever, you know what I mean? And also, another reason people use this as an excuse is an excuse to be an idiot. Rude, something like that. They want to use it as an excuse about being, oh, you know what, I might be a piece of shit, but at least I'm authentic, at least I'm real, I keep it 100, right? So, it's yeah, bro, you keep it 100, but the whole point of keeping it real is so you can fix yourself, right? So you keep it real, people tell you, yo bro, so you're keeping it real, you're not good, and they tell you, and instead of you correcting yourself, you're like, yeah, I'm authentic, at least that's what people say, at least I'm authentic, right? So they do some stupid stuff and they say, at least I'm authentic. That's the funniest part, to be honest. So, by the way, let me just zoom out. I feel like I'm a lot of zoom. But yeah, a lot of people use it as an excuse as well to be rude, and I really hate this. And I'll be a bit edgy here, right? You wanna know the people who kept it 100, the people who kept it real throughout history, the people who actually followed their nature? Not good people. One of them, their name starts with H, ends with an R, has that funny little mustache. The other guy, Stalin, the guy with the cap, Che Guevara as well. Those are all people who follow their heart, and look at what happened. In fact, they probably didn't think they were doing bad. In fact, I'll tell you another thing. They were so delusional in their truth, they actually thought they were doing good, right? And that's where a lot of bad comes from. It comes from not having objective truth and objective good, which only comes from God. And that's where it comes from, right? So a lot of people end up making up their own morals and doing things. In their mind, they probably thought of themselves as martyrs, something like that. They probably thought they were doing something good, but they weren't. They weren't. They were doing awful things. So what's the point I want to make here? Because I feel like I'm rambling. I have this problem where I ramble a lot, and I always do the same thing over and over again. Like if you're talking with me in real life, I'm like, what did I say 5 seconds ago? I'm always just recapping the same thing. That's why I gotta have notes. You have to pick between doing what's right and doing what's genuine. So I'm actually gonna promote a very controversial thing in a way, because I'm gonna tell you, don't be authentic. Be fake, actually. Be super fake, you know? Even the Christian world is not safe from this genuine thing. So I'm telling you to be fake, and instead of being yourself, be what's right, right? Because most of the time, our general nature, it's not going to be to do good stuff. It's to do bad stuff, right? So that's not... someone's going to take that out of context, by the way. But yeah, be fake. Don't be real, okay? Be good. That's the thing I wanna give to you. So, because to do what's right, you need to abandon your true nature. To do what's right, you need to leave behind what most people think is right. Correct? And since, as Christian at least, we have our morals based in God, our morality never changes. So unlike society's morality is constantly changing, it's forever changing, it's gonna change tomorrow, and it's not real morality, right? Because let's say, for example, you're raised in a racist household, right? So the way I can make you understand this is, let's say that you drink coffee, right? Because I want to put you in the perspective of someone who probably was raised as a racist or something objectively bad that we can all agree is bad. And let's say, right, the coffee example. Let's say tomorrow drinking coffee is considered immoral. You're gonna be like, yo, what the hell? Drinking coffee is immoral? Or like owning puppies. Owning a puppy is immoral. You know what I mean? Owning it. So a lot of people are gonna be shocked, and they're internally, they really don't, it doesn't make sense to them. So that's a lot of how those bad people think and are. It's much like that, right? So if you're a bad person, you can't just like switch it off if you don't have like a moral compass. And this is why there needs to be an objective moral standard, objective standard, right? That never changes, because that person who was raised racist, they can stop being racist by simply saying, okay, emotionally, I feel like these people are bad, but rationally, I'm the guy in the wrong, right? Because if you have your morality based on some objective standard, you can say, okay, emotionally, I feel like I'm right, but rationally, I'm not. So I can just abandon my emotions, abandon myself, and do what's right. So that's why I say abandon yourself and do what's right. Is what God says. But at the same time, what is right? How do you do it, right? And that's the example I want to give, because, so for example, when I was a pseudo-Christian, I did things I wasn't proud of, and when I became a Christian, I needed to stop doing those things, right? And a lot of the things were kind of weird, because there's some things in the Bible that don't feel like they're bad for us that live in like the normal world. And that's the thing people in previous generations also thought, right? Owning a slave is not bad. Like the thing, when I stopped doing the things I was doing, I bet it's the same thing that people who owned slaves used to think. They probably thought owning a slave is bad. What? Who? Where? Why is it bad, bro? Like, that's weird. Why is this Bible thing tell me to not own slaves? You know what I mean? Tell me to be moral. What's wrong with owning a slave? That's how they thought back then. And that's the problem with now as well. Like, we talk about being real, genuine, follow your heart, but then we also want to talk about doing what's right, but we don't even know what's right, right? Like, intentions don't matter. pretty much. Like, it's okay to fake your emotions. So if you want to slap someone, or if you want to be a bad person yourself, it's okay to be the opposite, right? So a lot of the times you're actually not being genuine. Right? You're actually doing the opposite of what you want to do, right? And that's what's so good, because this intentions are bull. I'm not gonna say the rest, but they're bull, right? Intentions, the best intention with the worst result is no better than the worst intention with the best result. Like, I can have the best intention for you, but if I actually accidentally, murder you or something, it's not such a good, like, the intention didn't matter. Like, you still got hurt. Like, still, something still happened. But if I didn't have the best intention for you, but my actions were good, the actions overstate the intentions, right? Right, and that's the beauty of, again, Christianity, because it says, okay, you're not perfect, okay, maybe you're born a psychopath, okay, maybe you're not the most moral guy, but you can still abandon what you want to do and still do what's right. Like, your mind is not there, or at least your emotions aren't there, right? So you can still do the work, you can still love your partner, you can still whatever it is, right? And not have your emotions get in the way if you realize they're illusion. And if you realize that your natural self doesn't have to be good, right? This be yourself thing only works for people who are probably naturally normal. But for people who aren't normal, who aren't naturally good people, this is actually the best thing. You can be a psychopath and still do good. Like, you can be cold, emotionless, and still do good, because the actions are bigger than emotions or intentions. Intentions don't meet jack. We put a lot of emphasis on intention. Since you were a kid, it's like, oh, what matters is, and of course, I mean, if your kid gives you something, okay, the intention does matter, but not in the real world. Right? Like, I'm not talking about gifts. I'm talking about, like, real world where consequences exist. Your intentions don't matter at all. The worst person doing the best action is better than the best person with the best intentions doing the worst action, pretty much. And again, God tells us it's okay if we don't feel. For example, let's take a marriage, right? And God tells us it's okay if we don't feel like that love, that passion for our partner. I mean, we might actually want to slap them one day. But instead of doing that, what we want to do, we actually love them, because emotions follow actions. And this brings me into another point, which is why this whole follow your heart thing is bad, because the more actions you do, your emotions will actually follow. That's, I know, crazy, right? For example, if you feel bad about your partner, like, let's say you want a divorce, right? Let's say you want a divorce, and like, if you want to actually bring the love back, you actually do more for them. And you notice this a lot in divorce. Like, the person who always gets divorced is always the person. I'm talking about in cases, by the way, where the person just divorces because they want to, right? I'm not talking about serious cases like abuse or cheating. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who say, I don't love you anymore. The reason people say that is because they haven't sacrificed, right? I noticed that a lot. The person who says, I don't love you, is the person who never did anything in the relationship. They felt like they did, but they didn't. Because I guarantee you, if they stopped for a second and they started doing more and sacrificing more, the love would come back. Benjamin Franklin also actually tried this once. Like, he'd have enemies, and if he wanted to like his enemy, he'd actually do favors for his enemy. I think it was Benjamin Franklin. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But some historical American figure did that. And they eventually found out this is true. The more you do something, your emotions will follow. This is why, for me at least, it's confusing to know what I want, because I know that I can like anything and I can do anything as long as I do it long enough and I become good enough at it. So you don't like something because you're not genetically predisposed to it, right? You don't like it because you're not good at it. But if your actions, you do so many actions around that thing that you become good at it, you start enjoying it. Same goes with your partner and with marriage and with anything in life. If you don't love your partner, it's because you're not sacrificing enough in your marriage. And this is also another thing, that love is intentional. Love is not emotional. It's emotional, but it's not emotional, right? So you can force a lot of things in your life. And this is great because, hey, if you have been finding excuses not to do a thing you want to do, as like, oh, I'm not good at it, now there you go. It's like you're good at it, you just haven't done it enough, right? And you also don't love your partner, you just haven't sacrificed for them enough. I actually experienced this firsthand, trust me. The person who doesn't give is always the person who loses the love first. Don't trust me, look at it for yourself. Never trust people on the internet, right? Don't even trust me. Just look at it for yourself and test it yourself and look around you, right? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it about my ramble about being yourself. TLDR, like take home stuff, is just avoid being yourself, avoid being genuine. Like don't be fake to a point where like you're literally just, you can't handle it, but also realize that you can do what's right and you can become the person you want to be. You know, like you can actually become the type of person you want to be, that you're proud of being, because we live in a society mainly led by emotion, right? And it feels like a lot of the things we have in life, it feels like they're out of our control, because that's what society taught us. Like, you're meant to do this, you're meant for this, this is your talent, oh, we are meant to be, we're soulmates. There's a lot of this hippy dippy stuff, right, around in society, and this is very toxic for the people who aren't normal, and for the people who don't feel like they're the best at anything. And I'm here to tell you that you can be a bad person in internally, or be depressed internally, or be aggressive internally, but externally not be that, because your actions eventually will dictate your emotions eventually. So if I'm sad now and I do the thing, I'll eventually be happy. Like, I just need to do the thing. If I don't love someone, I just need to sacrifice for them until I love them, right? And you can find comfort in that, right? You can find a lot of comfort in that, because you're not led by these irrational emotions. You're not led by these random impulses, and you don't need to be, you don't need to keep it 100 or be genuine, because a lot of people use that as an excuse to be rude, to be bad people, to just not do the good things. It's like, at least I'm real, at least I keep it real, because I'm not faking it like you. For example, I've heard that a lot. Like, I might want to be a bad person one day, but I'm a good person for that day, because my feelings don't dictate my emotions. But for that type of person, they do. That's a problem. You hear a lot of those people. So for those people, your emotions do dictate your actions. So yeah, I guess that's my 2 cents. I don't know if there's anything else I want to throw in here. Let me see. That's it, because I'm probably gonna edit this video and find I rambled a lot. But yeah, that's it. I think that's done for the video. I'm probably gonna rewatch this video. I'm gonna be like, dude, I just rambled on and on. What was I saying? I said the same thing 50 times, but I'm not gonna edit that much, so I can post this video out quick after I do the sales video, because I'm still editing it. This is gonna come after that. Yeah, man, I'll see you on the next lazy couch video where I just ramble about that the other whatever topic. So thank you guys so much, and have a blessed day.
So if they show love, I'ma show it back. If the catch is too small, I'ma throw it back. I've done a lot, but I ain't got a lot to show for that.